Hello and welcome. Welcome to Doll's House News. In episode 1, the printing began for the stalls. In episode 9, the stalls were prepared. And also in episode 9, they were installed. And now over to our Doll's House News correspondent, me. Did you enjoy that? Makes a bit of a change, doesn't it? Just a bit of fun. Doll's House News. Well, there's the news of the Doll's House. Well, on with part 10. Not going to drag this out anymore. Let's crack on. Whoa. Right, so I was looking at Coke machines around about the 1950s. Now on a Google search, as you can see, a lot of very similar Coke machines appeared. The most common attribute I've noticed is the actual shapes. So they're all very similar. There's one or two with less rounded edges than some, obviously, different designs, I assume. Different times during the 1950s. So I don't think I'm going to pick one in particular, but I will take inspiration from these type of designs. So I think overall, sorry, I don't mean to scroll too fast for you to make your eyes go funny. I will be, I think, looking possibly at something along these lines here. I'll probably make it out of foam board. How I'm going to round these edges, your guess is as good as mine. I could make my life easy, but that's not me at all, is it? And do a square version, but that wouldn't look right. So I think we're going to go with that. This type of design, definitely with this shape along the top there. So we'll do a bit on that and see how far we go. If it goes a bit pear-shaped, then we'll have to rethink it. Okay, so having looked at those examples, I've taken a few measurements. So I think for our diner anyway, it's going to be about 6 feet high. So it's going to be 6 inches high by 3 feet wide, so and about 2 feet deep. So we're going to go by 6 inch by 3 by 2. So I'm just going to draw it out, so it looks like, and we'll go from there. Okay, then let's make a start. Now I know I've got straight edges here, so I'm going to use those, and we'll crack on from there. So first of all, we're going to do our 3 inch measurement, which is here. We'll just get a nice three-inch line going. This is more of a visual aid for me actually, so I can get an idea. I'm literally making this up as I go along. So we want 6 feet high, so 6 inches. Same here. So that's our height and width of said machine. Now I'm thinking to get the curvature, and I could just draw them in, or I could get like an egg cup or something like that and just draw around that, which I might still do. But to get the measurements correct, I'm taking a guess here. Let's work it at 1 inch for now, so that'll be a foot down, wouldn't it? Probably going to be too much, but we'll see. We'll draw it in and see what we've got. So the idea is, excuse me, we'll come in, well, an inch right the way across, I think. Same this side. Might be too much, I might need to rethink that, as it were. Because obviously all this is going to be painted, so you won't see any of these pencil marks. I'm trying not to press down too hard, because that would obviously put indentations in the foam board, which I don't want. And again, just line those up. Now I only need to draw this part here and this part here. Because my theory is if I can arch that across there, that will give me the shape that I need. It may be too much, I'll go to it and we'll see what it looks like. Right to her then. What I eventually decided to do is actually go a ½ inch down from here, and I've manually drawn that curve in there. I think that looks about right to the shape I was hoping for. So what I need to do is I need to cut 2 of those out. One for the back, one for the front door, obviously, and then we'll look at the sides. And because we've got a nice even measurement of 6, it's obviously now going to be 5.5 from there to there. And they're there, so I need 2 of those, and one across the bottom will have a general shape. So we'll do that. Move on. There we go. So I'm going to cut the length first, because I'm going to end up doing those arches by hand. A nice straight line here. Now remember, when you're doing things like this, safety first, nice and steady, do not rush it. Don't try to go through in one pass, go several passes. And always keep your ruler pressed firmly down on the material, because otherwise the pressure against the rule will push it towards you and it could slip off towards you. Very dangerous. Just be aware of that. I know it's like sucking eggs, but for those of you who aren't comfortable using these Stanley knives or box cutters or X-Acto knives, please be careful. So what we've got is, I'm going to try and start from the middle here, and again I'm going to push the pointer in first, slowly and gently, following as best I can my drawn line. Doesn't matter if you go off, because this is waste. Again, don't try and do it in one pass. It's dangerous, and you'll get a jagged edge anyway, so that's never going to look good. There we go. And spin that round. Obviously, do the other side. Same thing. Nice and steady. Take your time. Do not embrace. Taken on a commission and you are rushing, please be aware your safety is more important than your deadline. Okay, so that's what we've got. A few little bits to clean up. You can use the nail file very carefully on these edges just to round them off and get your shape looking better. But that's what I've got. I need to do one more. I'll clean up all the edges first, and I'll just simply draw around it and cut out another one. Right, we are then. I've just used a simple nail file to round off the edges nice and smooth, and we're going to do this. What I would say, I have stumbled across a channel for miniatures, and it's called Bentley House Minis. This is not a collaboration. I don't know the lady. Her name's Aira. Some superb work that the lady does, great inspiration, she's very creative. I'll leave a link in the description, go and pop over to her channel and have a look. Fabulous, fabulous miniaturist. I can't praise her enough. I have learned so much from watching her make all kinds of things, especially the Addams Family house. So go and have a look at that and you will not be disappointed, I assure you. Anyway, let's draw around this as I said. We'll get reasonably a good match. Now what I want to do is I'm just going to put a little X here, because when I've cut them out, then I'll know to put them like that so they match front and back. I'll cut that out and come back again. There we are. In case you're wondering, and I'm sure a lot of you do, I used to close it. Do people make mistakes when they're making things? Simple answer, oh yes, all the time. You may not see it, we won't see it. Because obviously that's all taken care of in the editing. So yes, we make mistakes. If you're making things yourself, you will make mistakes. We all do. I don't think there are any exceptions to my knowledge. There's anyone who says to you, oh, I don't make mistakes, they're telling you pork pies, because everybody does. Nobody's perfect, regardless. So there we are, one there, one on the floor. I'll pick that up and we'll see how we match. Okay, there we are. Keep an eye, crosses there because it's going to be like that, obviously. So what have we got? Let's have a look. Not bad. It's never going to be perfect, but it's not finished. So that's the door and that's the back of the unit. And thinking about it, to be honest, I need to make, yes, and sort these doors out. I'll give it some thought and we'll come back. Okay, just on the subject of mistakes, I've just made one. Nothing critical, nothing we can't fix. So as you know, I've measured these at 6 inches high and we've cut in the curve from 5.5. So I'm going to need a run at the side at 5.5 inches, which will leave me a little curve like I do something else with. And what I've done, knowing that it's 6 feet high, I've cut these at 6 inches and they need to be 5.5 inches. I need to trim those down. There's a mistake, see, just made one. Okay, this must be karma. Second mistake, all on the same thing. Now, although I've now corrected my height situation, so that's now going to sit quite nicely where I can create this curve. What I haven't taken into account is the fact that the foam board itself is 5mm thick. So thinking that I want the Coke machine to stick out 2 inches, so 2 feet, if I put these on the inside, my Coke machine is obviously now, I'm going to talk millimetres here, 10mm too wide. So that's going to be nearly a half an inch, another half a foot, if you like, too wide. It's going to stick out too far, and whereas you wouldn't be able to squeeze by it where the work surfaces are to get to the jukebox. So again, I'm going to have to take at least 10mm off the width of these now, so that when they're assembled, they'll be the correct depth. I'm cursed for that, aren't I? It's karma. So there we are. That's the width difference. Big difference when you put them together. So now I'm going to correct the other one, get my hot glue gun on, stick them together, and then we'll see if we can look at those arches on the top of the corners. Righto. So now, put the hot glue gun up and running, up to temperature. So we just need to glue these sides on. see that. It's very difficult to do these things and keep on camera, especially when you haven't got the correct setup for doing such things. So that's that one. What I have done, I've gone ahead and cut some little inserts which will give the inside supports some support. I might have to cut those down again. We'll see. Let's pop the other one on. Once again, a little safety message. Be careful with the hot glue guns. They are, as they say, hot. Let's put this towards me. Bear with me so I can see what I'm doing on the edges. Now, so just bringing the edges together as best we can. There are other methods of gluing foam board together, but this one I find to be the quickest. Let's just see if that fits in there. Oh, super. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put one in the bottom, and I want a little further up here. Again, strength and stability is the ease. I need to cut that one down a little bit. I've cut them a little bit shy of the top because when the door goes on, I don't want these sticking out, kind of bashing on the door and pushing it out. So that's the reason for that. So I'm happy with that one. I just wonder if that might fit better up here. Same thing. Okay, I'll get those glued in. Glue. That wasn't a glitch, it was me. I had the glitch. And then I'll come back to you. Okay, so that's those pieces all assembled. Now I'm going to have to create another piece like this to put along the front here. So that'll give me two runs with this shape. Because I need to overlay something there to get the top shape of the Coke machine. So what I'm thinking is just a piece of scrap that has a flat edge, which would be nice. I'm just going to pop that on there, and I'm going to draw around that, and that should give me the shape that I need. So again, I'm going to mark this side. I know which is which. You can see that. I've just drawn around it. I'm going to cut that out, and then we're going to glue that to the front section. So we've got a match, really. So we'll do that. Okay then. There we are. I've just added this top section on there. So now we've got two runs. So what I already saw, I think I'm going to put some cardboard over here just to get that curve. So what I've also done on the inside is just put a little bit of scrap on the inside to give this piece a little bit more strength. That's all that's for. So that's our basic shape. We've got our door, which needs to be sorted out, obviously. Lots to do there. Oops, very good. There, that's better. And let's get on with this top section. Okay, all I've done is I've just put a dab of glue here and a dab of glue here just to hold this in place, because as we're pulling and tugging at that to get it to curve, I don't want that coming away, so we should meet up just nicely. I'm just going to do little bits at a time and then moving along until we get to the end, and then we should be good to go, as they say. So, well, again, just be aware, hot glue is quite dangerous. If you have a choice, use a low temperature hot glue gun. That sounds daft, contradiction in terms, but there is such a thing. Some of the glues get so hot it starts to smoke and steam, and believe me, that will take the skin off your fingers. So just be aware of that. If you are younger, please get an adult to help you. Don't try this on your own. I know it's difficult, and I know you want to achieve things yourself. There you go, things yourself, but sometimes it's a sensible way to go. Get someone to help you. So it's cooling down nicely. So we've just got this last section in here to glue down. We'll have a look. So what we've got. So now I just need to glue these ends down. I do apologise if you're not getting a very good view. As I've said many times, I'm not set up for closer work. I'm doing my best, so bear with me. Very hard. So I think we're getting there. I may need to put a little support on the inside where these joins are. I may not. We'll have to see how that turns out. Pulling all these stringy bits off. Most annoying, especially when you don't see them and then you come to paint it and it's just like a hair. And it gets embedded in your paint. Oh no. There we are, roughly it. It's curved across the top there. That's quite nice. I'm not too dissatisfied with that. A little bit of tidy up here and there. Excuse me. I may put just a little bit of hot glue there because of that hole. If you lick your finger and spread it across. Not the most hygienic thing to do, but it works. Or dip your finger in a little bowl of water, that would be better. That's that bit. I've no clue where we're going next, so I'll give that some thought and I'll come back to you. Righty ho, I'm going to take some creative liberties here. Not all coat machines are the same, and I'm not striving to do an absolute replica of anything we've seen on the screen. As I've said, I'm going to take inspiration. So we're kept to a classic shape. Now, in every man's home, or every creator's home, he has a box of what we call accessories or greeblies. We don't know where these bits came from, we just keep them because we think they'll come in handy. Ladies tend to call them a box of crap, which is probably true on both counts. This bit, I don't know where that came from. It's a small child's toy speaker box thingy. So I thought that would be nice to put on just here to give that sticky arty bit, as technical term. I'm probably going to put a hole in the door and place that in there, because that would be the hole where your Coke would come out, either can or bottle, whichever it is. And these two bits, I have no idea where they're from, so I thought I'll stick them together to make a thicker handle, so I'm probably going to put in here. This bit, again, I don't really know if I'm going to use that. I did think possibly just a detail on a design. I might put it kind of there for, again, partially detail and probably a vent that may have been on it, but I think I don't know if that might be too much. I might just put like a skirting around it instead. So that's what I'm thinking. I've now got to work it out because these will have to be attached and or sunken in. And I don't know whether to do that before I paint it. Again, more thought required because I have to work something out for the top here as well. Because just below where that line is, here, I may want to leave that a different colour, or I may need to leave, I might decide to take that further down and see how much space we've got left. Again, more working out, so I'll let you know what I come up with. Okay, before we do any of that, what I've decided to do, because I'm not 100% happy with the finish where the cuts got, so what I'm going to do, I've cut some basic piece of thin cardboard, 5mm wide, because That's the width of the foam board, and I'm going to glue it all around the edges just to tidy it up and make it look a lot nicer. So it's going to use some wood glue. Yeah, it's really good. It's not the cheapest in the world, to be fair. You could do this with PVA, but this is really good glue, and it sticks really well. This is what I need. Put a little bit more on than I need, because I'll wipe off any excess afterwards. Sorry if I'm a little bit off camera. There we go. Spread that out a little bit. Doesn't matter where we start, we have to be fair. Done that. And work it around as I go. Now it will try to lift in part. That's fine. Just go back and ease it back down again. This is a wood glue, so it's nice and easy to wash off, just with plain old water. There we go. We'll just wait for that to dry. See where we go from there. Right, so that's that bit done. That's a lot nicer around the edge there. Now I've got to start and decide about details, to begin with at least, on the door. So I've got some bits here, a few matchsticks, coffee stirrer, lollipop stick. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. But I think what I am going to do is try and work out, see, I want to put this as a separate colour. So I'm probably going to stick a piece of that across there, which will nicely separate, obviously I'm going to trim that down, separate the two colours. I'll probably then put a piece of this across the bottom as a kind of foot plate, if you like. And then when I put all the other bits on, I'll have a look and see. I don't want to over clutter it either. So I'll cut those out, and I'll probably stick those on first with the same wood glue. Okay, what I'm doing here is I've just drawn out the shapes that I need, and I'm just carefully going along those lines, because I just need to take out the panel, except this small side here. I'll show you what I'm going to do that in a sec. Just need to ensure it was cut through. And to all the corners, that's the issue. Corners are a problem. You do need a decent blade, preferably a nice sharp one. Now the one I've got and one I'm using, I've been using pretty much all the way through. However, what you've not seen off camera is I do have a knife sharpener. Every crafter's dream. You have to have a knife sharpener. Anyway, so I'm taking that piece out, purely because I want to slot that piece in here. So it's obviously inset into the door. And then what I'm going to do on this one, let's take that out for a sec. So I'm just going to push it in slightly so it creates an indent like that. And I shall re-glue that. Again, part of the detail, but not really anything drastic. It's just a nice bit of detail. That's what it's for. Okay, it's finally coming together. So I'm just going to attach the door. I've just painted around the outside. It's not complete yet. I do need to add some more trim to these sections here. So all I've done is one of the Greeblies, as we got it, bit of whatever it was I had lying around. I didn't know what it was from, to be honest. I just sprayed that silver and popped that in because that's where the coke would appear. All the boxes here, the inlay, as I've said. This has all been painted around the edgeware, so I'll attach that on there. An idea. That's what we'll have. Super. I'm just sorting out some decals. I'm going to do a Google search for those. I'll get those printed. We'll attach them. I've got all this to paint silver. I'll try not to drag it out. I am fully aware that the video is going on longer than before, but I would for once like to finish a project that I've started in the same video. So that's the goal, and we'll see how we get on with that. I don't want to make it a two-parter just for this one thing. Okay, this is where we are. The idea is I'm going to use a paint pen, silver in colour. This is the theory, may or may not work, to obviously do the silver parts. It's going to be a lot neater and a lot faster than using paint. It's actually a darker silver than I would have liked. However, it is very quick, as you can see, and very neat. So that's the idea. It's very tidy. So I'm just going to colour in the rest. It's literally just like using a felt pen, I suppose. I've got several of these, all in different colours. I'll be dying to use them on a decent project. So I think now's the time. I'll probably give it another one coat. If I don't like it, we'll come back with a paintbrush. We'll see what we've got at the end of it. Oops, a little bit too much there. Considerable amount too much. So I have to wait for that to soak in. Keep spreading it about. There we are. Wait for that to dry. There we are then. All I've done is, with a silver paint pen, I've just gone round some of the outlines. So this looks like a coin slot, and just highlighted a few of the sections there. So it's starting to get there now. I'm actually going to print a Coca-Cola sign for here and an inlay for here, and probably something here with a price on it. We'll see how that goes. And then pretty much nearly there. Right, okay, as you can see, I've printed the Coca-Cola sign, and I've also printed an inlay here that shows Coca-Cola bottles in there. I have put a little bit of perspex in there, if you can see the reflection. So it looks like glass. So we've got the coin slot there. So what's left to do is I need to add the handle. So I think it's going to go there. So I'm just going to add a little bit of super glue onto there, unpainted side of course. Just needs a small drop. stay. I don't want it leaking all over the place. So I'm just gonna pop that there. So the theory being, what you would do is you pop your money in the slot there and pull the handle, and that would release a Coke can or bottle, depending on what was in there, and that would be that. There's no choice, it's just one item in there, that's it. So I've also got the cost of the item, which is 5 cents. I'm just going to put that on there. Well, I'm going to put it on there, I'm going to stick it on there. So to do this, I'm just going to use some simple Pritt stick. So I don't want to have to wait for PVA glue to dry. I think wood glue is a little excessive, so I think this would be the easiest option. I use the word easy. Oops, very cautiously. I'll pop this on there. There we are. Just press that down. So there's our Coke machine. We've finally done it. I hope you've enjoyed it all. I'm sorry it's taken so long. I did want to finish it. Hope you've enjoyed it, Jake. You inspired me to get on and do this bit. So I'm going to pop that into the diner and we'll see what it looks like. We are then back in the diner. And now everybody can go and get themselves a Coke from our Coke machine. That really adds to it. That looks great. I'm really happy that we did that today. Hope you've enjoyed it all. Sorry it's taken so long. So there we are, all to scale, 1/12 scale. Like I say, I think fits lovely into our little diner. It's really coming along now. So that's it. Hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time. Phew, finally got that done. Thought that was going to go on longer than it did, but it's been going on long enough. Hope you enjoyed that. Not sure what we're going to do next time. Might start looking at the actual cooker, things like that behind the worktop. Till then, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.